So apparently, it's now winter, and it's October 2nd. So I just brushed my car off. It used to look like that, and now it looks like this. That took a while. So now we're on our way to work, where it's going to be dry, at least. And I think I have mostly an indoor day today. So that's great. But yeah, where's fall? I kind of would say, because this is a little ridiculous. Traffic is really slow. This is, first snowfall of the season, obviously. And we got about 8 inches overnight. So, if you're not used to snow, that's plenty. But even if you are, it's still enough to cause a lot of backups in traffic and accidents. So, we'll get there when we get there. Hi everyone. So I'm back inside warm now after that horrible snowy day. But enough about the snow. We're all cozy. I've got a glass of wine now, so it's a good night. What I wanted to talk about today is relationships and my experience with them, specifically being transgender. So let's get started. So the first thing, when I transitioned, I was with my current wife. We were together for 4 years before we got married, and until that point, I did not know exactly that I was trans. I always wondered if there was something different about me, and I guess the way I thought it at first, and maybe some of you may consider it like this too, is that it was more like some sort of fetish or something like that. So I kind of thought I was just like a little bit strange, and that it was just something like not quite normal, but I didn't really want it, like I didn't know I could leave the house with it, kind of thing. Like I thought it was built up of a lot of shame, I guess, and I think now I know that that was more because I think society's acceptance at the time was less than it is right now. So this is more like 5 years ago, right? So it was more based on um, sexual expression, and I think that's how it sometimes manifests itself um, at first, because we don't really know necessarily how to express ourselves, and we do it in kind of like a hyper-sexualized way. So I was together with my wife. We got married, and we decided that a few months later to finally kind of explore and start seeing a therapist. So I think my advice for people who are together, whether you're in a relationship or in a marriage, um, I was able to approach it. I trusted my wife, my girlfriend, very much. She was along the whole way, and when I decided to bring her to my therapy sessions, when she came in the first one, we discussed this because we knew that this was going to be something that affected both of our lives, because um, it was who I am, right? So, and the same thing for you. It's who you are, and there's nothing wrong with that. And your partner, if there's a lot of trust in there, I think it's important to bring them along on the journey with you, because I used to kind of consider it that it was hard enough to kind of wait with my wife as I transitioned. So what I mean by that is, think of it like a race. Um, there's two people and you and your partner, and it's easy to kind of get carried away with the transition because everything is new and exciting. And I found that too, that my partner, it took her sometimes longer to catch up to where I was because um, I knew my own head, I knew my own feelings. I'm really good at self reflecting. Part of the reason why I'm doing this is to help express my thoughts and get them to you. And so it was really easy for me to kind of move quickly through my transition. Like I got on hormones within about 4 months of kind of coming out to myself, and then I've been nothing stopping me since. So with my relationship, um, it was important to check in with my partner the whole time because I valued her opinion a lot. It was her life too. We were married. We were going to be um, having eventually. We were hoping to have a family together, probably at some point. We were building a life together, and that's why it was so important, so important to make sure that she was aware of everything that was going on with me and how it will affect our lives together. So remember that it's not just your life. It can be easy to kind of get lost in yourself, but it's it's your lives together if you're planning to stay together. So vital. Make sure you communicate. Everyone always says with any relationship, communication is key, and this is no different. This is a very big thing to communicate about. You definitely need to make sure you do that. Um, so transition, yeah, keeping her in the loop. Um, and I found too that what was really nice is that because of that honesty and communication, that she was very willing to help. And whether that's just being an advocate, uh, supportive figure in your life, or even tips. Like I was never thought I'd get into makeup at all. I kind of struggled with it, and I think that may have been partially due to society's standards when I was younger, telling me that well, I was presenting as a boy for 27 years, and boys don't wear makeup, right? Wrong. First of all, boys can wear makeup. That's perfectly allowed. But society told me that it wasn't. So I never really learned. I never even really paid much attention, I think, to avoid that kind of confrontation. So what what my wife was really great at is lending her support with skills, how to do makeup, going with me to the store. It is really nice to have someone with you. And even those of you who are watching that don't actually aren't in a relationship right now, it's also very important to, I think, have someone in your life that is aware of your transition, and they can definitely help you out. They can go with you to stores. They can help you pick out clothes, makeup. I found that that was very freeing, very secure, I guess, because I wasn't doing it alone. So that was a big thing that my wife helped out a lot with. And one other thing I should mention is that because I was able to transition within during my relationship, I think what it really did was help with my confidence and my happiness, and that really was priceless. I think it actually improved our relationship in a way which may seem a little bit counterproductive to what ended up happening because we ultimately didn't stay together. But I think it was important for both of us because it improved us both as individuals as well as together. Newfound respect for both parties and learning to deal with difficult situations in a marriage and a relationship. And I think if you're able to do a transition successfully um, within a relationship or a marriage, I think it ultimately strengthens that relationship because, like, it's such a tough thing. There's so many other things in this world that we worry about, and if you can make a transition work in your relationship, I think you can do anything because it is it is such a hard thing to do, but it's so worth it. Now, ultimately, things just never didn't work out in the end between us, as was evident in my previous video. Um, we're still trying to make it work as friends, and I think that's also important to note that I think there's a myth that goes around that trans people have to make a choice and their partners have to make a choice. They either stay together forever or they completely lose contact with each other and are out of each other's lives. I don't think that's the only two choices. I think there are many ways of doing things. That's kind of like society's built on rules of thumb, right? So, um, but that's a very uh, limited way of thinking it. I guess it's like an easy way of thinking it, but there are multiple ways of doing things, and my experience is that we're trying to make it work as roommates and best friends. As seen in my last video, it's not easy, but as the old saying goes, nothing in this world that's worth having comes easy. It takes a lot of effort. Transition, staying friends with an ex. Now, our situation is different than a typical relationship where the reason they split up was for maybe in something that created hostility. That's very different, I think. Ours was a mutual breakup because we just felt that we would be much happier with relationships where our sexual uh, interests were being met. So we are now where we are, and that's great. Some days are bad, some are great. Most are great. And I love doing this video, love doing this channel, because it means I can talk to you guys, and that's really cool. I really hope that this is helping some people. If you have any questions related to relationships, especially my experience, I'm usually pretty open. So send me a message, comment on this video, something like that. I'm not sure if you can send messages on YouTube. I'm still pretty new to this. But feel free to comment. And if you have any specific topics of a trans relationship that you'd like me to cover, I can either cover those myself, or if I know anyone that has better experience with that, I can definitely call them or contact them, and in the future could do kind of a duet video kind of thing with question and answer. So anyways, leave questions in the comments below. And if you like this video and my channel, I strongly urge you to subscribe by clicking the link below, and make sure to hit that bell too if you want some notifications on when new videos are up. Right now I'm actually doing a couple, almost like one every day, so that's pretty cool. My next video, I haven't fully decided the topic, but I may talk about transition with other aspects, such as sports, friends, family, something along those lines. And I think that's a really important topic because a lot of people remain in the closet, and that's not fair to them if there is confidence out there that can be gained by learning other people's experiences, which is what I want to cover. So anyways, thanks for watching. I'm hoping that the snow tomorrow will be at least a little bit melted and at least stop, but we shall see. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you later. Cheers. Bye.